Hello, guys. My name is Anita. I'm a certified Salesforce developer, and today we will talk about how to schedule a batch job. So, let's create a class together. Firstly, we define the class, so it's called task schedule, and it implements the database.batchable. So, to use an interface, class must implement it by providing a body for all of the methods contained in the interface. So for the batchable interface, we need to implement start, execute, and finish methods. So firstly, we need to implement the start method. So we have access identifier. We use now database.queryLocator and batchable context. So start is used to collect the records or objects to be passed to the interface method execute for processing. This method is called once at the beginning of a batch Apex job and returns either a database.locator object or an iterable. So I created like 100 leads with last name Anna. So we will query that just for example. String query equals, then we have select ID last name, for example, from lead, where last name like, and we have like Anna, and then like percent. So, okay, he will get something like this, and then we will return the database dot get query locator, and then we will pass our query to return. Now let's get to the execute. Execute accepts batchable context and scope. So this method performs the actual processing for each chunk or batch of data passed to the method. The default batch size is 200 records. Batches of records are not guaranteed to execute in the order they are received from the start method. So basically, here we gather the records and then we process it in this execute method. So in this example, we will just like say that record dot first name equals to example, and that's it. Finish method is used to execute post-processing operations like sending an email and is called once after all batches are proceeded. Okay, I just made a little mistake with not escaping the single quotes, but I did it now. Now let's get to executing batch. So this is how we do it. We call database.execute batch. This is the number of records proceeded within a batch. I will put it to 50. And this is the name of our batchable class. So now we will just execute it. And as you can see, it started. So we can see in our batch in here. Okay, so this is the batch job, sorry. And in here we can see all the batches. So this is in 50, 51, okay. Those are like 50 records in that batch, and we have other 50 in this batch. Yes, as you can see. So we had two batches with 50 records. And now, as you can see, we have the first name set to example in all of the leads with the last name Anna. And now let's get to the scheduling part. Well, the most developers do this thing. Schedulable class. They just create a class, even if they needed just to schedule this. They will be like, okay, I have my schedule class. I will just say implements schedulable. Okay, and then I will write the only method that needs to be implemented, and that is execute with schedulable context as seen. And then what they do is like, okay, I will create like tests, schedule, instance, my batch, for example, equals new. Let me just copy it, task schedule. Okay, and then you go like, okay, database dot execute batch, my batch, and like 50. And then what they do is like this, okay, I will just schedule this schedulable class to run in 25 minutes every hour. So, yes, that's quite it. And it will work. It will definitely work. We just need to wait for 2 more minutes. Here it is. So, yes, we have our batch chunks. Great. And we can see that it has been executed. Great. Okay, those are our records. First 50 and then the last 50 records. But what people forget is that Schedule is just another interface, and one class can implement multiple interfaces. So we can just do this, and we can add another execute method. So we will have public void execute with schedule context. Great. Okay, and here I will just paste the execute batch that we had in schedule class. So let me just save it. And now we don't need our schedule class anymore. We can go to execute just this test schedule class that implements both batchable and schedulable. So now it's 31, we can schedule it to 32. And now let's wait for the logs. I will delete them to see clearly what's happening. So now it's 32. And yes, here are our batches as before. Another thing that I want you to know is that you can track your schedulable jobs in setup. You just type in like schedulable jobs, and now you can see your schedulable job. The only thing that you need to have in your mind is that you cannot schedule the one same class again if you don't firstly delete the previous one. So just think about that when you're scheduling. Delete your previous version and then schedule the next version of that same class. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click on that subscribe button and see you in the next episode.